Is that right?
Yeah, Caroline.
Caroline. Do you have nicknames or?
I get called Carl a lot. Carol Wheezy Baby. Like, I get a lot of them.
Amazing. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, totally. You know Tanner. No Casino.
Yeah, he's an acquaintance.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Tanner. He works at Goldmark and makes beats. He's an acquaintance. I mean, that's how we know. Like, that's how we made the connection, right?
Yeah.
So I brought you on for a couple reasons. I want to know. So first of all, my demographic is like just all dudes. It's like 30 to 50
I did notice that. I was looking through your videos. I was like, there's a lot of dudes on here.
well, that's secondary, right? Like that's the reason my demographic is 30 to 50. But the people consuming my content is a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And people tell me that's because I interview a lot of old DJs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Add more women, get more women viewers.
So
broaden your audience.
Broaden. No?
Broaden.
Broad. Like anyway. So, but also because your art is really amazing and you're doing something really cool with your life. So is it all you do, or do you have to work also?
I work a part-time job, but that pays the bills. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm just in my studio.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make it full time, but
Did you go to art school?
I did not. I actually went to school for geology. Funnily enough.
Whoa. I was thinking about the rocks in LA. I just got back this weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
Back on the red eye. And the rocks out there are really different. It's like, I don't know if it's sandstone or everything just looks like it's about to just crumble.
Yeah.
It's all look very sandy.
A lot of sandstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't look as solid as our shit. Our shit is like levels.
Yeah.
Layers.
Environmental differences. Sedimentary. Sedimentary.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what we have? I don't know.
Yeah, there's sedimentary, igneous, metamorphic.
The quote I was reading recently was like, you can't train somebody to be an artist. Like you can't teach art.
No.
Basically. I think that was in the Bauhaus book my mom had.
Okay, yeah. I'd say that's fairly accurate. There's certain techniques you can learn. There's ways to make things more efficient. And if you do it, that's, the right way. But art in itself is very subjective, as is like the technique. One artist succeeds holding their brush this way. I do it this way. And it's, it still makes these great pieces that are worth talking about. So
how would you describe your work? Like if somebody can't see it, what kind of styles are you working with? What media and what subjects?
So I do a lot of portraiture, acrylic paints mostly. Sometimes I do colored pencil. I guess it's more like it's more of an automatic, like innate thing, less of like a style that I really fall into, I'd say.
How do you know what to do next? So do you get inspiration from music? Do you get inspiration from drugs, from friends, from other artists? Like how do
Inspiration comes from all over the place. I find it in everyday life. Just leaving my house, I get inspired by something. You have to look for it. But weed definitely helps. Yeah. But I lost my train of thought.
Like what? How do what inspires you for art, to make art?
It used to be mostly music. So I was listening to a lot of Mac Miller, and my first few pieces are mostly Mac Miller pieces.
Yeah.
But once I grew beyond that, I usually find inspiration through just moments in everyday life and my emotions, like how I'm experiencing life and how I can bring my journey out onto the canvas.
Yeah, it's so cool. I think people now are just so divorced from their emotional life.
They are.
And art can save us in that way. I think making art especially will allow you to kind of find out how you feel.
It really helps me navigate through my own emotions. Like once I put the paintbrush to the canvas, I never know how it's going to turn out. But I know at the end of it, I feel better from whatever situation I was painting about or what spurred the creative inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, color itself, I feel like, is so therapeutic.
Yeah, it
Um,
really is.
with the Mac thing, were you friends? Like, were you just like a big fan of his
No,
music?
just a big
Because
fan of his music for a while.
in what brought you to Pittsburgh, I guess is the other
Um,
piece.
so I actually lived in Somerset, and I went to Cal U,
Oh, cool.
and then we moved up to Cranberry, and then I just wanted to be in Pittsburgh. You know, my family's from here, so
You probably were living here when he was like kids era, Blue Slide Park, Frick Market,
nearby.
whatever.
Yeah, I remember I really started getting into him around, I want to say 2011, 2012,
Mm-hmm.
and that was just after Blue Slide Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was chasing him around festivals
Oh,
all over the
really?
country. Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh
We would
man.
go. I think I remember seeing him at Bonnaroo, Lollapalooza, Electric Zoo. I've seen him at
Oh,
probably 4 or 5
I'm
festivals at
so
least.
jealous.
And one of the like best parts about it is that whenever I would get into the pit, wherever he was playing, whether it was Chicago, New York City, Pittsburgh, like wherever, I would just run into friends like
Yeah.
automatically. And you just see people from Pitt that I went to school with from 2005 to 2009.
Yeah.
My buddy Topher, I just see him in the pit at Lollapalooza, like, and it's just all love, Like I
Yeah.
remember his music just connecting people.
It really does. Yeah. And I think that's a beautiful thing about art is the connection it makes between others, you know, music, visual art, that sort of thing.
Yeah. What kind of opportunities have you found from your own visual art, and kind of what things are you looking forward to or trying to make happen?
I might have my first solo show coming up, which is in the works. I'm talking to the girl soon about it.
Amazing.
Yeah, but I'm really excited for all the festivals this year. I love vending, being outdoors, meeting all the people. So one in particular is a Millvale Music Festival.
Oh, cool.
That one's going to be fun.
Have you done that before? Like had a booth?
Yeah.
And sold art?
Oh, yeah. I do about 10 to 20 shows a year, I'd say.
Wow. Which are like concerts, like somebody's performing and you show
Yeah,
up
so
and
it's
sell
like
art.
either a small concert or a festival like Millvale, or just street vending for different smaller events.
How do you think about the importance of that kind of in-person kind of interaction with art versus just using the internet and like just completely going digital?
It really ties the buyer, the clientele to the artist emotionally, I feel like. Especially, I think it's so cool. And a lot of people have told me this too when I'm selling to them, that it's cool that they get to meet the artist and like hear a little bit of the backstory of the piece. You know, you might learn something about the piece you hadn't known before.
Yeah.
And you just get to meet all these cool people from all over the place.
Yeah, I remember when I would do shows in New York when I was living in the Lower East Side and throwing parties for a living. It was we had this guy named Borbe. He's still one of my favorite artists to this day, Jason Borbe.
Okay.
He lives out in Wyoming now and makes a living selling his pieces for 20, 30,000 a piece.
Damn.
I can't afford his art. Like when I knew
Yeah.
him, he was the dude at our shows just painting like the concert.
Mhm.
And so he would paint like each of us, and at the end of the show, we would all sign it, and it would like create this amazing
Oh.
like record or document
cool.
of the show.
Yeah.
But he really found his style, and I think that that's the thing that excites me the most, whether it's music, dance, visual art. It's seeing someone find their exact style,
Yeah.
and you can see it right away, right? You go on
Mhm.
somebody's Instagram page and you just scroll through, and it's just all like eclectic pieces of like it looks like noise, or you're looking at it, it's just all just completely synchronized. You're like, yeah,
Yeah.
this person knows exactly who they are. Like they figured it
They
out.
figured it out.
And hopefully somebody likes it, right? That's the other piece.
Yeah.
Is like if you might have, something that is honest to yourself, and maybe the rest of the world doesn't get it.
Yeah, I always live by the philosophy that if you've ever felt any emotion or anything, you've put it onto a canvas or whatever. If you felt that, someone else has had that exact same feeling. You know, you're not the only person in the world who's felt that. There's no possible way.
That's so cool.
So I think there is an art piece for everyone out there, you know, whether it be a song or a painting or a poem.
Did you watch Exit Through the Gift Shop,
Mm-mm.
the Banksy movie?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
He like
I forgot that's what it was called.
he like sells he sets up a booth along Central Park
mhm.
and just sells like his art,
Yeah.
which is, obviously priceless, but because people don't know who he is,
Yeah.
they're like willing to buy,
Yeah,
they're
just
like
some.
walking right by or, offering $10 or whatever it is. What do you think about how fame, notoriety, a name affects the value of art?
I mean, as with anything that has notoriety, people are going to be willing to pay more because it's something that's harder to obtain and a lot of people want it. That's one thing, but how it affects art, I get it takes away a lot of the emotion for me sometimes. People just want it because other people can't have it rather than, oh, I really want this piece, but it's, $30,000 now. And it's something that's really personal and meaningful to me.
But then you're making prints. So it's like
Yeah.
also about democratizing it, right? So
A
that
little bit, yeah.
people can have access at various
Yeah.
price points too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like having prints for that reason.
That's how I got in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So what do you think the significance is of being in a gallery? So, I was just out in LA. I won't name the person whose gallery I was at, but she was telling me about how hard it was to make rent, and just like her whole thing was about putting on artists that nobody knows. Like she wasn't willing to um, sell herself out and put on people that she doesn't vibe with,
Yeah.
just to stay afloat. She's like, I'd rather go broke
Yeah.
and close up this place than um, mm, not be true to myself.
Yeah. I think that's important, being true to yourself and the art. I would absolutely do the same thing.
Do you think though that any artist can truly be honest with the situation of capitalism where it is? So like if you're forced to make something that other people enjoy rather than just being supported by the government, right? There's this
Yeah.
alternative way. We could just have this system where anybody who's dope like submits their stuff to the board of artistic significance, or I don't know what it would look like.
Artistic significance.
And it would be like, yeah, your shit is sick. Like here's
Facts.
$100,000. Just keep working for the year.
Yeah.
Like doesn't capitalism corrupt art?
A little bit. I mean, at this point, we're so far gone. I don't know.
The train has left the building.
Yeah, it's out. But in my own personal selling, I have to have prints if I want to like make it as an artist. I have to be doing these things. I feel like making these TikTok videos, making reels, whatever. I don't always want to do that. I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but it's kind of the world we live in at this point. And it is corrupting a little bit the value of the art.
Interesting. I guess it also probably connects you to other people online, and you've probably
It does.
met.
Yeah.
like-
So it's a very fine line.
Yeah.
I was actually just thinking about that the other day, the social media bullshit versus like the algorithm versus what I'm trying to do. Like I want to get my art out there to as many people as I can. Obviously, I think it's good. I think it's worth something. I put a lot of heart into it. And I want someone else to like feel what I'm feeling and understand it. But then in order to do that, I have to really work hard on Instagram and on YouTube and this or that and be posting constantly. And like, I don't like looking at my phone all that much.
Yeah. And when you're making that content for Instagram, right? Which because you are the product, right? Like
Yeah.
you're giving them the content that they push to other people.
Yeah.
So you're like their unemployed. You're their employee who they don't pay, right?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Slave, I guess would be another way to describe that. right?
Yeah.
Because you're working for them, but they're not paying you.
Yeah.
And then when you do that, you end up looking at other people's shit, even though you don't want to, right? Like I
Yeah.
find that I'll be looking at my phone because I'm trying to post, but then I see some notifications, and so I start looking,
Yeah.
and it draws you in, and they know that, right?
Oh, they
That's
know that. Yeah. The second I
completely-
put my phone down after I close out of Instagram, I'll get some random ass Instagram notification. I'm like, you didn't have to send this to me.
Yeah.
This is just a
Do you get them
clickbait.
pushed? Do you get them pushed to you?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I turned that
Yeah.
off. That was important. The problem, of course, is that's how people communicate now. So I
Yeah.
don't get my messages on Instagram
Yeah.
pushed to me, which I don't care about at all. Like, no problem. I'm busy
It's
enough.
usually not
I got-
that urgent. Yeah.
Never, right?
like-
But of course, it is how I communicate for the podcast. Like that's how
Yeah.
I book guests. They had a dope system on there, which I think they abandoned, but it was how I managed like all my calendar.
Mhm.
So I would send out the invite, like find people, everything. It was all through Instagram. Which is funny because I also am not on Facebook, and I rail against Facebook so much. It's exactly the same thing. It's like the same house with a different coat of paint. So I was talking recently, last episode, I was talking to Steve Spin about how I want to get away.
I really enjoyed that episode, by the way.
thanks
I listened to
for
it
listening.
earlier.
Yeah, he and like Underdog and like there's like a couple people in Pittsburgh that are just literally the nicest people you've ever met. Just nobody could ever say anything negative. Like
Yeah.
I don't operate on that frequency. I'd love to someday. I'd love to figure that piece
Just
out
find that
of my
bliss.
personality. Yeah, but
Yeah.
my God, yeah,
It's
just such a
tough
decent guy.
road.
Yeah. And they're both teachers who DJ, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, okay. Anyway, I was talking about how I want to get away from the social media and get back to this kind of organic concept of just newsletter, really. Like blow up my newsletter.
Just work on your emails.
Yeah, just really like.
Honestly, that's the way. I feel like I'm a ghost on Instagram half the time.
Yep.
Just
Yeah, the emails, I think it's so powerful because I really do get good feedback from it. When I like it's directly related to the like number of good emails I have, but that to me would be the power of going to those places and selling art, is that I'd be collecting emails. Like that's all I would be doing. I'd be like, yeah, here, absolutely look at my art, but sign up. You know what I mean? Like that newsletter, I feel like that'd be crushing. And that's how Borbet gets out too. Like that's how I find out about his new work.
Okay.
He's always pushing it. Like the newsletters, it's either once a month or once every 3 months. But I'm always seeing like, oh yeah, you're in Vegas painting this amazing legendary Vegas sign. Like welcome to Las Vegas. You're at the Guggenheim. He does a painting of the Guggenheim every year. With like a slightly different style. So he's on his 22nd year of painting the Guggenheim.
That's really cool.
Amazing. I'll put a couple pictures in when I do the edit.
I was gonna say I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I like Borbet.
I want to do that with a self-portrait, just different styles of me once a year, just see how I grow and how my style grows.
Yeah. Do you look at a mirror, or do you use any like tricks? Do you look at a photograph, or just paint what you think you look like?
Usually just from my head.
Whoa.
The only thing I really use reference photos for is like a hand.
Yeah.
Like if I want to get the angle absolutely right. But lately I've kind of just been throwing paint on the canvas and hoping it looks cool.
There are these old tools that you can buy now. They're like the camera obscura.
Oh yeah.
You know about these?
The pinpoint lens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was actually just reading an article the other day. I forget who the artist is, but
Like Renaissance painters.
yeah.
The Renaissance painters for sure use it. Yeah, not the Cubists. The Cubists
Nah.
fucked it up. Yeah, Picasso and Van Gogh for sure like didn't. But to
They were,
get the
like,
perspective,
Yeah.
like the School of Athens is the perfect example,
Mhm.
right? Like a deep perspective shot with
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci as Plato standing in the center with all the lines coming into him, and
Mhm.
it's like there's absolutely no way you can draw this without having
without some sort of reference or camera.
absolutely. So they used
lines.
those little devices, and it was like
Yeah.
drawing. It was like tracing, truly. Like
This artist's argument was that every single artist used one,
Mm-hmm.
and he had scathing articles written against him and his point of view. I was like
Well-
scathing. I was like, oh wow, they're really taking this guy down for that.
You would imagine like the Sistine Chapel ceiling would be hard to do camera obscura work up there,
Yeah,
right? Like how would
yeah.
he, unless he had a mirror, like wild mirror set up to do his subjects and everything. I don't know about that, but I love I love the Renaissance work, and I went to Paris to see it intentionally. Musée d'Orsay, Louvre. Yeah, it's amazing, and
man.
the Caravaggios. I got in a
Yeah.
lot of trouble in medical school for not knowing Caravaggio.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
always remind people to know Caravaggio.
As you should.
Yeah, I mean, he's not my favorite,
Mm.
but it is like amazing history painting,
Yeah.
like or religious work. You know, John the Baptist, beheading, whatever, giant, huge work.
Mhm.
And there's some dope ones in Pittsburgh. Do you
Yeah.
go to like the Carnegie Institute of Art, Museum of Art?
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while actually. But there's even the South Bank Gallery in Southside. Have you ever been there?
No.
There's like Picasso and some Dali sketches in there.
Cool. Yeah.
So it's
Southside.
it's
Amazing.
I want to say 16th Street maybe?
Cool.
Around there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
on Carson.
Like near the bridge.
Yeah.
Do you know it was at 16th Street, one of my first serious residencies in Pittsburgh, S-Bar.
Really?
Of course, S-Bar's gone.
Yeah.
It's something else now, probably, right? But I used to play Thursdays at S-Bar. That was like my first big
It was empty last time I walked by there.
$200 a night gig, all
Oh.
cash.
That's
Leave,
beautiful.
go to the strip district, get yourself a little cap egg
Yeah.
at Permanis.
There you go.
Those were the days.
Sounds like a fun night.
Yep. 16th to 18th. 16th and Carson to 18th and Smallman. Those were the
Okay.
nights.
Yeah.
And then you'd run into the other DJs. You'd run into Bonix, who came from Barroom. You run into Strobe, who came from Firehouse Lounge. Dave never showed up because he had a family. But like
Oh, yeah.
Dave was leaving Zen, and like everybody would kind of coalesce on this, one table at Permanis, and it was just like such an amazing.
That sounds like a
atmosphere.
really magical time.
That was incredible.
Like, oh man.
Yeah,
Like something to reminisce about.
for sure. It was amazing.
As we're doing.
The the other amazing, I mean, there's so many amazing Pittsburgh artists, but the one who I really, really think is just so slept on is Charles Teeny Harris. He's a photographer who shot The Hill. And I have one book of his work here behind me that was my grandpa's. So my grandfather, Lou, was a photographer, like amateur photographer. He's an eye doctor as a profession. He's like an optometrist.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's very, very involved with the Optometry Association, but also with people who collected stereo viewers. So he was the president of the Stereo Viewer Association also. Do you know what this is?
No.
They're these little 3D things. I have one behind me.
Okay.
But they allow you to, it's like 3D before 3D.
Okay.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
All right,
Absolutely. Yeah,
Hang on,
please.
I'll show you. All right, this is not one of his best, or one of his coolest, but I wasn't given any of his
expectations
best.
low.
So this is like one of the little travel joints.
I've
But
never actually seen one of those in person.
well, you've probably seen. Have you ever gotten coffee in Oakland at? I get coffee there every day, and I can't remember the name.
I don't go to Oakland that often.
Red something.
No.
Anyway, they have, and I'm sure you've seen this, those little blue viewfinder things, and you look
like
inside and you click it.
Ones?
Yeah, that's what this is. It's the same technology. So just look through the view pieces and see if you can see 3D there.
Whoa. Yeah.
You think you see it?
I see it.
You got it?
That's cool.
All right. Yeah. So there's a bunch of them. This is like an African safari. But
It's really fun.
it gets to a whole nother level. Like he he collected ones that were room size, like furniture that he would go to France to get. Literal furniture, like as tall as you. With a giant pull chain that you would use to switch it. And the slides were way beyond this, like
so
glass
ridiculous.
slides. Yeah. So he had one of the biggest collections in the world.
Wow.
And it should have gone to this museum. There's actually like a museum on the north side next to Bernie's. Bernie's is like a really cool camera shop on the north side.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who runs it offered to put his whole collection up in his museum next door. But we sold it.
Oh.
So it's not in Pittsburgh anymore.
It's a shame.
He wasn't going to pay us any money. But sometimes there's things more important than money, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, fame or something. What? Legacy? Legacy.
Legacy.
Right?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Better than fame. Anyway, because he was like very in touch with all the photographers in Pittsburgh. Of course, he knew Teenie Harris and had been to many, many of his shows. And he would collect newspaper articles. And so one of the coolest things about the book that I have of his is he had collected every single newspaper article for like 12 to 15 years in the Post Gazette, and they're all in the book, like inside there, cut out. So I have them all.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. And then the other cool thing I have of theirs is a photo that's like a museum piece down on the in the living room, which actually has all the different shows it's been in, like listed.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I was looking at your piece in the living room of the looks like the skateboard.
Oh yeah, yeah,
right
yeah.
in the right corner.
That's Lane. That's my sibling. Did that.
No
That's
way.
who I was visiting in LA.
Okay.
Who doesn't make art anymore. This
Wow.
is a crazy story. Let me tell you some
man.
stories about Lane.
Yeah.
This is wild. You won't believe this. All right. So, oh, I have a sticker for you too. Look at this.
Oh my God.
So-
Wait. I have one for you.
Oh, dope. You're not going to believe this story. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell this story. Lane doesn't listen to the podcast.
I think you'll be all right.
Oh, amazing. These are all so cool.
That's great.
Oh my God. This is
you.
the font on your name too is so dope. That's just
Oh.
your handwriting, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I probably redid it about 3 times, but
But that's the way to go. Absolutely.
yeah.
So you could make fonts. You can make that into a font too. People do
Yeah.
that.
I did see that, but I think it's more unique each time. Every sticker, it's a little different. I kind of like it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So she went to MICA, which is Maryland Institute College of Art, and in Baltimore, which is a whole story in its own. But basically, for the final, my mom was very, very excited, very proud, showing up to be there for the final piece where they were going to all do their demonstration of what they'd been working on for 4 years. One person had a sculpture that was, unbelievable. One person had a painting that, belonged in a museum. Another person had a set of photos. Everybody had like a really like phenomenal kind of body of work that they were showing.
Yeah.
Lane is sitting there at a table with like a zine, basically. It was like a stack of zines
Okay.
that exposed the board of trustees of MICA for all the money they were donating to Israel, for all of the corrupt business practices, for excluding minorities from the school. For
Oh my God.
I don't remember exactly what the expose was. Like, don't get me wrong. I know no shade to MICA or whatever, but it was like it was a big expose, and it was like so amazing, and of course it broke my mom's heart. It's
Yeah.
like she was like heartbroken. But it was perfect because it was true to who they were. It was, fuck this. I'm not interested in visual art anymore. I want to change the world.
Yeah.
I want to do something political, and
It's
that's
a
what they've done.
Shocking piece for people.
Yeah, I want to do something political. I want to heal the world. Tikkun olam, as the Jews would say. So
Oh, that's
that's
really-
that story.
That's cool. I like her.
Yeah, pretty damn cool.
What does she do now?
She's a librarian.
Librarian. Okay.
Yeah, librarian at UCLA. In the stacks.
In the stacks. It's me and my loft. I have a loft bed,
Okay.
and my bookshelf is right underneath.
Oh, cool.
But it's literally just stacked full of all these books that I haven't touched in a few months. But
The stuff that you've never read, or
there is stuff I've never read in there.
Yeah.
But a lot of it I have read, but I just always buy books and then I'll read this at some point.
do you care if it's paperback or hardcover?
I prefer hardcover, but doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
You'll collect
If I can get
paperbacks too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've been trying to be more intentional about just avoiding them altogether. I'm like, it's kind of like the same as paper, just collecting pieces of paper in the house. If it's
Yeah.
not like hard bound, I just feel like it's trash. I'm like on that Marie Kondo.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
if it
talking
doesn't
about?
bring you joy, get
Well,
rid.
well, also she says paper is trash.
Oh, really?
Yeah, change you put in your
I
pocket
didn't actually watch that. I just
sparks joy. Yeah, that's the
I
spark
read
joy.
that part. Yeah. Yeah, I should probably do some like serious decluttering in my room now that I think about it. But
What kind of books are they? Like,
a lot of Stephen King.
oh, cool.
I was into horror books for a few years,
Yeah,
and so my family just loaded me up every Christmas, and I would go buy some. And like, there's so many unread ones now.
he was apparently like a notorious cokehead. Like that's how he would
Yeah.
write. He would just go onto a crazy bender.
I'm not surprised. You see how
And
many
then-
books he puts out every year?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess.
He has another one coming out in May. Swear he just released one like a month ago.
Well, no, I think he's sober now. I think.
Okay.
At the time when he was in his like Carrie.
like back in the
like
90s,
yeah, Carrie, Pet Cemetery,
70s,
The Shining.
whatever years.
What a genius!
I never remember.
A fucking genius.
How old is he
wrote
now?
Probably almost 70.
70.
He wrote like all. I mean, his politics are a little wild too. I will say.
Yeah,
He's gotten off the deep end there a
a
little.
little bit.
He caught the Trump derangement syndrome, the TDS.
TDS.
It broke his brain like Sam Harris. Exploded. It's like when the fembots get you in or when Austin Powers gets the fembots because he's too sexy for them. Do you remember this?
Yes, barely.
Yeah. So
I was really young when I saw any Austin Powers.
he's trying to
I haven't rewatched it.
Thanks.
I
Yeah.
should do that.
Thanks, yeah. He's trying to find a way. These are like my coming of age films. So
Oh yeah.
he's trying to find a way to escape the fembots and he realizes that he can like destroy them by overwhelming them with his
Right.
male
With his-
machismo and mojo. He hits them with a major dose of mojo and it breaks their
Nice.
brains, breaks their little circuitry.
Hmm.
And they fry.
I gotta rewatch that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Honestly, maybe I'll do that tonight. I'm going to a friend's house. We're gonna take some edibles and we're gonna play games. But maybe we should just watch Austin Powers.
That sounds right. It's a mess out there.
Yeah, I did not know it was raining today.
Yeah.
I didn't look out the window for a while.
Yeah. It's just gross Pittsburgh
It
weather.
is.
Another reason that I get like all like recharged when I do that West Coast trip.
Mhm.
There's other
So
places
much-
to live.
There are other places to
wild.
live.
No, it's just
It's
wild.
drier, sunnier.
You never have to think about rain in LA. Of
No.
course, you can't have grass.
Yeah. You take what you can get.
But rock gardens are beautiful.
Yeah, they are. I know a few things about rocks. I got a little collection.
Oh yeah,
I can
you're
make
the
it nice.
geologist. You
Yeah.
can set it up. I worked with this. Actually, I was staying in Pasadena, and one of my jobs when I was a kid, I did a lot of landscaping. One of the people I worked for was this amazing person who currently lives in Pasadena.
Mhm.
She's like half Japanese and was a mother of an ex, but she taught me how to lay stones in a traditional Japanese garden
Oh.
and about how the placement affects the mood
Mm-hmm.
of stones. So if you put the stones too close together, it's too slow and you get stuck. If you put the stones too far apart, it's almost like you're running. And so it's too fast.
Okay.
And there's this kind of
Happy little medium.
correct
way to lay
gap.
the stones.
in between the stones on your path through your garden.
I did not know that.
There's a dope tea ceremony too. She made this like amazing brew of tea where they like pour the hot water over the top and it
Mm.
kind of like goes into this wood box and then it's just like tea after tea after tea until you're high on caffeine.
Hmm.
Which is very interesting. It's like,
Feels like me most Monday mornings.
I think this is beyond your triple grande sugar-free vanilla
Ooh.
caramel macchiato.
Okay, I do get caramel macchiatos sometimes. You got me on that one.
I was just writing off my drink from when I worked at Starbucks. It's
okay,
not a
yeah.
big deal. I think you're supposed to say iced at the beginning.
Iced, yeah.
Otherwise you get in trouble.
I've been real on these C4 energy drinks lately.
Oh yeah. What the hell does that have in it?
Creatine. It's a sport plus fitness performance energy drink, you know.
Try to stay away in general from anything that's named after an explosive. Just
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I usually don't drink that many energy drinks, but lately it's just been tired. That Pittsburgh gloom is getting me
Oh, it's
like
intense.
so exhausted.
Yeah, it's really like this part of the year is just a drag.
It is.
And the only hope is to leave for long periods of time. I truly believe it. You have to get away and get sun.
I do have a lot of
So
flight
important.
credit. I should take a trip.
So important. Or just leave and never come back. That's the
Yeah.
other thing.
I kinda
Have
like
you
it
ever
here.
have you ever lived anywhere else?
Not particularly. I was born in Illinois, a few hours out of Chicago, but I moved to Pennsylvania when I was 10. So
Have you ever been anywhere else that you
Oh,
felt
yeah.
like you could live?
yeah, Utah and Arizona, Colorado. Utah's beautiful. I don't know if I'd want to live there, but
A lot of Mormons.
a lot of Mormons.
They got that real money. I think Salt Lake City is the highest GDP, like per capita in the
Yeah.
entire country. San Francisco is the richest city,
Yeah.
I think.
I was gonna say San
Median-
Francisco,
The median
but-
income, I think, in terms of income. But if you talk like GDP, I think Salt Lake, crazy.
Hmm.
Billionaires on billionaires. And then Aspen, you mentioned Colorado. The houses in Aspen right now,
Yeah.
300 million,
Yeah. Yeah, that's not
400 million.
not in my budget, you know.
That's a crib. That's one crib.
It's an
That's how
MTV
much
crib.
that's how much Beyonce and Jay-Z paid for their Malibu house. It was like almost 400 million, I think.
Their Malibu house.
Oh.
It's crazy.
Oh.
I don't know too much I guess about celebrities
Yeah.
like Beyonce or Jay-Z.
I mean,
But I never really considered just having multiple houses. Like their Malibu house.
I think I would definitely need more than one house, especially if I live somewhere like this.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a slog.
I hate traveling.
Really?
I love going places. I hate getting to and from them.
Yeah. It's not the best part.
No. I
But-
used to love it, but
The journey is the destination.
oh yeah, no, I love the journey and like literally anything metaphorically,
Yeah.
like the journey of my art, the journey of just driving.
But
I don't like
literally-
being in a car.
Really?
Yeah,
You like driving, but you don't like being in like driven.
I both. I get like mad anxiety every time I'm in a car. I don't know why.
Have you been in accidents?
Not like one. That wasn't even a
Uh,
bad one.
I wonder why.
I think I'm just an anxious person.
Yeah. Could be all that C4.
Probably.
We need to get you that CBD drink.
Just-
What they have one. They have a couple.
I
There
work
was-
at a CBD store. I can get me like 6.
There was-
That's my part-time job.
I think that's the move. Get
Yeah.
away from the caffeine.
Yeah.
It's weakening your adrenals.
You're not wrong.
That's what it does.
Well, it's this time of year.
And interfering with your sleep,
Yeah.
interfering with your dream life. Do you have connections with dreams? Do you get inspiration from dreams for work?
Sometimes
Yeah. I feel like that's the best place. If I was
dreams are usually like very vibrant and just a lot going on, like just
Yeah.
weird stuff. But people that I've been thinking about in my life are always in them. So
Yeah.
most of my art is more self-reflected, I guess. But I do get ideas from my dreams sometimes.
I dreamt I was diving in a pool. Somebody was like throwing things at the bottom of the pool, and my job was to go scoop them out. But it was like 100 feet deep. You know.
Oh, so you
had to
just kept going.
all
kept
the way
going.
down. Yeah, probably like sleep apnea, right?
Yeah, if you feel like you're underwater, it might be time to get one of those little breathing machines. Dude, sleep apnea is no joke.
I'm not getting tested. I'm too young for that. I'm not doing it. Yeah, I feel like that's what I would do if I was an artist. I would, or if I was back to being an artist, I guess, is I would try to optimize my dream time and dream life. And I would
Yeah.
spend like as much time as I could just tapping into the subconscious and trying to like avoid other people's shit as much as possible. Like
Oh, yeah, any
stay as far away from other
Yeah.
artists. Like other like Instagram would be just like
Oh, solitude.
off limits.
Solitude is so important if you want to be an artist. You have to take time to really reflect on yourself and tap into your emotions away from these extrinsic factors, and just intrinsically find yourself through your art. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do you have any other tricks for how to
Um,
do it?
Staying invigorated. I think it's really important you get locked into one mode of thinking, one mode of doing something. You need to go for a walk, go do the dishes, just something to excite your life a little bit.
Do you have trouble finishing projects?
I used to. Yeah, not so much anymore. But I think that's something I've really been working on.
What kind of advice would you give for people who have trouble, like artists that struggle with finishing projects? Like I know a lot of producers who do this. They'll make the first 10% of a beat. They'll lay the
Yeah.
drums, get the bass in, and then they just can't finish.
Sounds like that's sort of just like when that happens to me, it's more of a seed of an idea that won't bear fruit anytime soon. Maybe it's something that you just want to keep in the roster for a while. And then when it's ready, when you creatively think you can tap into that mindset again that you first had when you were inspired by it, then it'll be ready to bear fruit. But
So just get rid of it. Just move on.
move on, start something else. You might find some inspiration in that new thing for the other thing you were attempting to work on.
Like that.
Yeah.
What other advice would you give for people trying to either succeed in visual art or get started in terms of materials, like where to go and kind of how to just
There's
get started?
a few creative reuse places in Pittsburgh that sell a lot of reused stuff you can use for your art.
Amazing.
Just like thrift stores, basically, but for material.
Oh, that's so cool. So I don't have to go to Blick.
No, I do order from Blick a lot, though. They have a very wide variety of paint. But Facebook Marketplace is another good one. Just other people, just try to recycle as much as you can.
Definitely. Do you think yeah, I mean the skateboard piece down there I think is worth mentioning again because it's kind of like just using the shit that you have in your life, right? She took the skateboards that I had broken that I was just kind of like leaving around my room because I would break a board like once a week and just took them and
Rather
put a piece of wood
trashing it, just made something
in the back. And, exactly. Turned it into art. There were some amazing skateboards at the museum, the one museum I went to in LA, which is like kind of embarrassing, but I was only there for really 2 days, which was the Museum of the Cold War called the Venda Museum.
Oh.
Really, really dope. And one of the coolest things they had were like 75% of the museum was devoted to homeless artists and incarcerated artists. And one of the incarcerated artists had done these skateboards that were just unbelievable. And then another one had these eggs. They were like ostrich eggs that were carved to the point of intricacy that you had to hold a magnifying glass up to see all the detail of these chameleons and just unbelievable figures on these eggs.
Wow.
But I
takes
think
a lot of patience. I don't have that.
I think about like media and trying to break through that. I think about the Basquiat documentary I saw where he's painting on doors. Like he would paint on just anything he found in Soho, anything that would come into the studio would get painted on.
I feel, that's very common for the artist. Every surface in my studio has paint on it at this point. I've been painting on all the walls when I'm in there. I paint on pieces of cardboard, just shit from packages I got, like styrofoam I've painted on before, just trying to see what works, what looks cool.
Totally. Do you feel like the faces are your style, like that you've been posting a lot lately?
Lately, yeah.
What's the story behind those?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Is it you?
I that's what people are making that assumption. People are assuming those are my faces are me, but I don't know. I just like making them. honestly. Some of them are me. They were intentionally me. Most of them weren't intentional. And then as I finished them, I discovered they were similar to me and the emotional state I'm trying to depict. So I guess, yeah, would be the answer.
Maybe. It's a solid maybe.
I didn't seem very confident in that one.
Possible.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like the
I like
faces.
to remain mysterious.
Right. Works really well for the podcast.
Yeah. My bad, guys.
The one guy who I like who does faces is a tattoo artist in Asheville named Lime Cologne.
Lime Cologne, okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I have one of his like messed up faces on my left shoulder, and then I let him do the outside of my left ankle too, but not with one of the faces. But I feel like it was a really good combination of, and I don't know if you're into tattoos at all, maybe a little. It's hard to tell.
I have like 7, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it was like a great combination of somebody who I felt like really had found their style, where everything that they were pushing out, that's kind of like what I was talking about earlier, is of the same ilk.
Yeah.
It all fits together. You can tell
there's usually like a motif to it or something.
There's something that connects it all. And then also just talent at tattooing. So every, video that he would put out where you can see the work on a part of someone's body was perfect. So like the lines were all perfect and dark and clean. And so I knew that was like somebody who I wanted to seek out. Those are the kind of the things I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Styles, I don't really care about. I'm not married to any kind of style.
No.
I want to find an artist who's amazing and I want their flash. I'm definitely not interested in pushing my agenda at all. Like I don't want any of my ideas on my body anymore. I've done that. It's not interesting to me at all. So I only am interested in flash.
That's sort of like an ego trip there. Just
yeah, I think maybe. I mean, some of that stuff comes out really cool. Like there's some artists that like there's this French artist that I like, or maybe they're in Montreal. I wish I knew the name, but they'll take like suggestions, so you can tell them like I like Harry Potter, and they'll do it in their style. So it's just like like they they're able to weave their vision into your own inspiration.
It's kind of what happened with this tattoo. I said, give me something.
Yeah.
And he did that.
Was it Halloween?
No, this was in August, maybe September. I don't remember, but
it's pretty close.
Yeah,
a little fall-ish. Yeah.
I wanted it anyways. So
yeah, I like it.
My best friend and I woke up. We're like, what should we do today? Obviously, go get a tattoo. Yeah.
There was a kid named Kenyel. Never told this story on the podcast before. He taught me a lot of bad things. We were both 14.
Oh God.
And I was kind of living by myself because we had an apartment in the city. My parents got this apartment and I would stay there and there were no adults. But there was this kid named Kenyel.
Anything could happen.
Yeah, and did. So I was asleep and I woke up and I just felt pain on my ankle. There's just like real excruciating ankle pain. And I looked up and the kid who I knew, he was an acquaintance, to use your language, was cutting into my ankle with a knife and had already gotten like part of the tattoo in with a Sharpie marker.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. So I was getting a prison tat.
Yeah. What was your reaction to that? What'd you do?
I told him what I wanted. And then let him finish. But yeah, he was a really interesting kid. He told me like his uncle had this car that we could drive.
Okay.
It wasn't clearly his uncle's, like.
Yeah, not sure how quite.
But I had the key to it. Like I had a key to a car when I was 14. And,
okay.
he knew how to hack. Like he could hack computers, so he taught me.
This guy.
It's really cool. Kenyel. He showed me.
Jack of all trades.
Really, really brilliant kid. Yeah. He showed me how to use the like basic hacking program where you could control somebody else's mouse from your computer if you knew their IP address. So all I needed was your IP address and I could control your mouse, open programs, anything.
Yeah, the mouse can, yeah, especially you can turn on some accessibility. You can type in whatever you want. Oh, God.
Uh, this may have been before accessibility.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This is like MacBook 1. This is before MacBook Pro. Yeah. Those were the days. This was before 9/11, I think. Maybe. Anyway, never told that story before. Real sketchy.
That's a little sketchy, but that's hilarious.
Yeah. I
Thank you
got
for telling me.
like another real tattoo on top of it.
Okay. I was going to say, is
yeah,
that.
yeah, I don't still have any remnant of it. Eventually it like faded away completely.
Yeah.
And I
Is
got
there
another
any scarring?
No, not really. I got another tattoo over the top of it because I was like, I went through something and I want to be reminded of it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. What was like growing up like for you?
Um, my family was really close. Except for my dad, he wasn't around. But they would always bring me home reams of paper to draw on when I was a kid. I don't know. I remember having a great childhood.
Nice.
I feel like I tend to forget a lot of things. I don't know if it's an ADHD thing or. But
you were always drawing, even as a kid.
Yeah, I in the second grade, I remember it pretty fondly. I was real into the Renaissance era, and I was drawing knights and queens and princesses and like horses.
Wow.
They weren't like, it's more chicken scratch than anything, but
still.
I got hung up in the principal's office. I was very proud of myself.
Now you're hung up in galleries.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool transition.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a painter when I grew up.
Wow.
But I kind of just stopped for a few years and then started again.
Got interested in rocks.
Got interested in rocks, slight detour. Had to check out the mountains a little, but
what was that about?
I don't really know. It's more of a hobby for me now. I like geology. I think it's a very interesting subject. There was a point in time where I just forgot that I liked making art, I guess. And then I got sick and started making art again. So.
Tell me what you mean.
I had thyroid cancer.
Oh,
yeah.
Got to talk about that.
Yeah, it was gonna come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was 22, I was diagnosed. So in 2018, and I actually just beat it January of last year.
Where's the clap? We need that like clap sound effect. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
I was actually so bored dealing with the treatment and stuff that I just picked up some colored pencils and started drawing again for Christmas gifts. And here I am.
Wow. Talk about transforming negative into positive.
I have never been one to just like sit in the negativity. I always will come out stronger at the end of a bad situation, especially, something like cancer. It was more like when things happen to me, I don't actually see them as like happening to me, if that makes sense. It's just like it's something that's happening, but I can handle it. I've always been able to handle everything.
Yeah, I guess that's like externalization or something. Do you, how did you get diagnosed? Like what were the symptoms, if you're okay talking about it?
Oh, absolutely. I'm an open book when it comes to this. I had mono my senior year of high school, and I had really giant lymph nodes from that. And then I went to college, didn't see a doctor for like 3 years.
As one does.
As one does. And then I did notice in college, and I picked up on this a few years later, I was coughing a lot in class, like all the time. I thought I was just constantly sick, but I didn't really think about it. I was just like, oh, I'm just coughing. It's fine. And then I went to the doctor for anxiety medication, and she looked at my neck. She felt it. She went, yeah, that's not good. These are still here from 3.5 years ago or whatever.
She felt lymph nodes.
Yeah.
That were enlarged.
There was a really large one right here. They took out 78 lymph nodes, I want to say, when I had my surgery done. Oh, yeah. I have a 6 scar. If you'd like to see it. Goes from ear to ear.
My God. Well, what was that like?
Honestly, it sucked, but Um, it was a lot of rest. I lived with my mom, so I didn't have to worry about paying bills or anything. I was just taking my time to recover. But the surgery wasn't that bad. It was like a 5-hour surgery.
Did you wake up intubated?
Yeah, I not intubated, but I actually remember everything after I woke up, which is really strange. Most people, I feel like, wouldn't remember directly after they wake up. I was really excited to have the oxygen tubes in my nose. I don't know why. Yeah, no, it was really nice. I have a really nice support system,
Wow.
which really helped me through that time. And then I just got hooked on art.
Did you have radiation also?
Yeah, yeah. I took the radioactive iodine pill, and so I had to quarantine for about 2 weeks before quarantining was, you know.
Oh, wow. Because it like wipes out your immune system. You basically had to.
And there's just pure radiation. I could, someone gets near me, it's.
Whoa.
So I lived with my mom at the time, and she slept in the bedroom next to mine. So we really had to like keep our distance. It was hard. And then the living room couch that she would sit on, she had to move to a different one because it was like 2 feet from my bed on the other wall.
Wild.
Yeah.
So wild. Isn't there something that you have to eat or can't eat or have to drink beforehand or something?
Before
the radioactive iodine, like in order for it to work.
Yeah, you need a low iodine diet.
That's right.
So
So you had to eat the uniodized salt for a while.
Oh yeah,
right?
My diet was
'Cause
so
that's where most
bland
people get
for so long. Oh my god, it was miserable. I forgot about that, honestly. No, I had my mom make all my meals for me, and she couldn't give it to me on the plates we shared. It had to be paper plates or plastic forks or whatever. And she'd just like drop it, and I'd go get it outside my door. Like felt like I was
Like
in
a
prison.
prisoner.
Yeah, literally.
How did you get through that?
A lot of art, I guess. I just started drawing, and when I found something better to focus my energy on, it was very exhausting for a while going through the treatment. I was losing hair. I was losing weight. Like it wasn't even chemo, so I can't imagine what those patients are. But it's
don't need to compare to anybody else's situation. That sounds harrowing.
yeah, no, it was tough. It really was, but I got through it.
Did they connect you with anybody else who had done it or who had been through it, or like were you able to find people online or support groups or anything?
I found some people online, like support groups.
Yeah.
FICA Inc. Chloe, she has a cancer page. She was really nice and helped me through a few questions I had previously. But kind of just myself, honestly. I got through a lot of it just through my own personal reflections and journaling. I did a lot of journaling.
So yeah, that's amazing. There's a woman here who I ran into at the Goldmark, actually, who I was friends with at Pitt, named Maria, who has had a crazy fucking battle with breast cancer.
Really?
Yeah, and is still in it, like, and has done podcasts. So just like I really like this kind of discussion. I don't know why. I guess because maybe I feel like I don't talk about medicine enough on the podcast. You know? It's like I'm a neurologist who does a DJ podcast. It feels like a waste, right? A little bit. And so, and like some of my patients listen too. I had a patient come in today and they were like, "Yeah, we love your shit." And it's like, I feel bad that I don't talk more about
medicine,
neurodegenerative disease and just medicine in general. And it's like,
it's your podcast.
So I think I'll bring her on is the point. So
yeah,
Maria,
cool, yeah.
When you hear this, we're setting the date. We're doing it. That's amazing that you went through that and didn't allow it to shake your confidence and break you.
I have very big ego, a lot of confidence in myself.
That's dope. That's amazing.
Which is, sometimes I have to kill that part of me, but
yeah, but it is a
when
amazing
it comes
tool.
in handy, yeah, it does come in handy.
Yeah, powerful tool for sure. Look what it did for Kanye. Drop vultures, Kanye.
I was going to say, when is that happening?
It's time. It's time.
I don't know.
You don't think it's coming?
I think eventually. I don't know when. Could be in the next minute. Could be like literally, who knows with that man.
My favorite are the Reddit. Like I'm heavy in the Reddit game, and everybody has these like theories. Like he's looking at the clock. The clock says 10:20, so he's gonna drop it on October 20th.
Oh yeah.
Like they have all these theories, fan
You
theories.
can go down the rabbit hole with that stuff.
Do you think that you would ever do any other type of art, like other than visual, or have you dabbled? Are you interested in photography or music? Or
I've dabbled. I was really into photography when I was in middle school, and I think that's something I'd be intrigued to get back into. My brother does it,
oh, cool.
just as a hobby, but yeah, he has his little 35 and whatnot, and just goes around, and his pictures are really dope too.
Yep, I'll bring my 35mm out tonight.
I
just dropped off a couple rolls at Bodega, Bankrupt Bodega. Shout out Bankrupt Bodega.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Pat.
Shout out Pat. He's coming on too.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah, I'll be here.
I just saw Sidney Crosby went into his store. Yeah, he posted a story. I was like, that's
no
cool
way.
as fuck.
You saw Sid at Bankrupt Bodega?
He did. Yeah, they chatted.
Oh, that's cool.
He posted it the other day.
Wow.
Like,
how about that?
Yeah.
Shopping for vintage Penguins gear or something.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
He does have his vintage game definitely on point there. That place is cool. The other place is the basement in Squirrel Hill.
Oh, I actually haven't been in there yet. I know.
Place is nuts.
I've heard.
Can't remember what it's called. The Cave or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. That place is
No,
is
I know
bonkers.
what you're talking.
They've got grails on grails. That place is crazy. Where else have I been recently?
I go to Avalon Exchange sometimes in Squirrel Hill.
Okay, that's old school.
Yeah.
Dig it.
I used to go to Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo
They shut
Exchange.
down.
Did they?
In
They used to
Southside,
buy my
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I need to sell a bunch of gear. Need to
I
make
just got
room.
this sick frayed leather jacket.
Yeah,
It has fringe on it.
nice.
Oh, I love it.
Dig it. I need more
All
fringe.
down the sleeve. I should have worn it here.
I definitely need more fringe in my life.
It has these thick shoulder pads, so I like have to own it when I wear it. You know, I can't just like be meek and wear it. But
Love that. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like looking for the single stitch.
yeah,
You know about this? So there's like a point in t-shirt what's it called? Manufacturing when they switch from going from single to double stitch on the sleeves. So you can just like go through the stacks of shirts and look for ones that have the single stitching and then cop those.
did not know that.
Yeah, it's cool. That I think the year was like 2004. Something like that. Like 2003, 2004 is when they made the switch. So you're looking at like 18, 19-year-old stuff.
That's cool.
Oh.
I'll have to check that out.
Oh, the big issue is like the shirts never fit. The fit on all the different t-shirts are all so different. Like the different companies, whether it's Hanes
yeah.
or like they do these really short shirts that are like mad wide.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work for me. I mean, I think for other people that like that look, it probably could, but it's not.
Not something.
It's no bueno.
Yeah.
Need
They
a
do
tall
that with
tee.
pants too. Women's pants. I don't know if the men's pants are the same, but or the size 30, 32, whatever.
Tell me more about the shape of the pant varies.
The size. You can get a size 6.
Oh, not every size 6 is different, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Crazy. Yeah. Women's clothes are not like you don't buy your pants in 32 or 30 or 28 or whatever it is.
I have bought pants like that though. I think when I used to shop at Hot Topic.
I like the people who shop there. That place is cool.
It was a dope spot, yeah.
Yeah.
And my 2 for $20 band tees. That was a good time.
Get a little like bracelet with little metal spikes.
Oh yeah. I think I had not like spikes, but just
Something leather.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had one of those bracelets, the rubber bracelets, the
Oh,
belt
yeah.
that matched.
Did you listen to punk music before you got into hip hop
I listened to
or alternative emo?
yeah. I was really obsessed with Taking Back Sunday way back in the day. Metro Station.
Yeah.
You never shake it. That was a
Shake,
bop.
shake it.
No, I
just deleted
find
that song
myself
off
in
my
scene
Serato
phase.
yesterday.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. Yeah, I looked at it
Absolutely.
yesterday and I go, this fucking sucks. I'm never going to play
Yeah.
this. Get rid of it.
No, it's actually a very annoying song. I don't
Yeah, it's obnoxious. I saw was it Finding Ferdinand? Is that Franz Ferdinand? You remember Franz Ferdinand?
Yeah.
They opened for Weezer.
What's the song?
Oh God. Oh God. Am I gonna have to come up with it?
Take Me Out. No.
Yeah, take me out.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. That was like such a Guitar Hero song.
Yeah.
Oh
man, I killed it on Guitar Hero.
Really?
Oh, I was playing
which
expert
instrument?
mode.
Your guitar?
Guitar.
Yeah. Wow.
Back when I was like 10.
I wish I had a set so bad. It's like $3,000 to get one of those.
I have one.
All the instruments working?
I have 2 guitars.
No drums?
No drums.
No mic?
I don't know what happened to the drums or the mic. They got lost in some moves.
Still pretty good.
Yeah. No.
What system?
The Wii.
Oh,
the
cool.
original
Yeah, Wii's
Wii.
cool. Yeah, that's great. Nice.
So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I actually forgot I had that. I should probably set that up soon. It's like a nice little party favor, the guitars, and I just forget about them.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I miss that. That was a good moment. The DJ Hero was when things went downhill.
Yeah, I remember that coming out, but I never took part.
Me neither, but that was how some DJs got started. Literally, I've had people come on this podcast and tell me, QRX, that they started DJing because they heard DJ Hero, a mashup in DJ Hero.
See,
they're like,
that's really cool.
Wow, this is crazy. Like, you can make mashups. And then I told him, I go, like, you're in Pittsburgh. Greg Gillis lives in Bloomfield. He invented the mashup. Like, he didn't invent the mashup, but he popularized it.
Yeah.
And if you look at any documentary about mashup culture, they're going to put Girl Talk in there. It's like, he lives down the street from you, dude.
Yeah, the opportunity here really is.
It's unbelievable.
Amazing.
No, there's history breathing from the streets, like breathing from the walls here. Just unbelievable.
I think a lot of people don't even realize that, especially non-creatives. I've noticed they see Pittsburgh, they go, "Oh, I hate Pittsburgh. It's just rainy, roads suck, blah blah. Everyone's mean." I'm like,
yeah,
no, you got to look at the good stuff.
You have to. No, there's so much to be grateful for. That's the other side of the coin coming back from LA, is that there's no poverty. And of course, people are going to be upset with hearing me say this, but no poverty, no crime, no congestion, no traffic. Relatively speaking, this is an very unbelievably livable place. Like, you can drive anywhere, park there. You can go to a football game, a fucking basketball game, a soccer game, hockey game, any day of the week.
Yeah.
Drive there in 20 minutes.
Relatively cheap. Like,
park for $20. It's just like, you can live really easily here.
You can.
And it's pretty cool.
A lot of cool people live here. There's people to meet. A lot of networking.
I totally agree. Yeah. Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
There's people who want to move out to LA and New York. I'm like, I could not live in one of those cities. Like, Pittsburgh is it for the time being,
What if there was like a really wild opportunity with art?
Wild opportunity, maybe, but
like a gallery or like what do you think about those like residencies where they put people, like, I know that Redfish Bowl was doing this, where they'll give you a little room and you just use it, I guess, and you get a grant to do it, or maybe you pay. I don't know. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah. So for Redfish Bowls, they're just doing their giveaway right now, so they're giving some away for free. But you do pay if you were to, not for the giveaway, but
yeah. Do you have an idea how much it costs?
I want to say the cheapest option is $100, and that's just for access to the studio.
So it'd be like $100 a month.
Yeah.
And you have a place to paint, basically.
Yeah. Which I have a space to paint, so I'm not doing that. But I do really appreciate Redfish Bowl. They've done wonders for
cool
me and other artists. Great place. They have awesome people there. They help get us a lot of opportunities and push our art to the world. And
You've had your art up there?
Yeah.
Or currently do?
I think I do have a piece floating around there somewhere. I don't know.
Cool.
But
where else can people go to see stuff of yours, or is that what's coming up?
More of what's coming up. Yeah. Right now, I don't have any pieces anywhere. Might have a solo show coming up.
It's exciting.
In the works. Next week, I'm going to be at Art Battle.
Very cool. Tell me about that. What is that?
So it's 3 20-minute rounds of different painters competing at live painting. So we each get a blank canvas. I believe it's like a 16 by 20 inch. We get 20 minutes just to slap some paint on the canvas, and the crowd votes. And whoever wins takes home the gold. And
Amazing.
moves on to the regional competition, apparently.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Where is that?
In Homestead, West Homestead, the Bulgarian Cultural Center.
So cool.
Yeah.
Who's putting it together, or like what's the
program? It's called Art Battle.
Yeah.
So there's actually, it's kind of a big deal as far as events go. There's one in Cancun. There's one in Canada. They're all over the place.
If you win, do you get to go to Cancun and
Somewhere?
and
I'm
beat
not
them?
sure where regionals are, but
there is like a way to
Yeah.
keep going.
yeah. So
Very
this is
cool.
the entry level like competition, I guess.
Amazing.
But
How
it's
did
going to be so fun. I went to the last one just to observe, and the energy in the room was really exciting, and the art that came out of it in 20 minutes was impressive. So
it's dope. It reminds me of Battle Gories coming up. Shout out PDC.
Battle
Shout out
Boys.
QRX.
Oh,
Dr. Dapp. I don't remember the other DJs, but I'll put them in there. Battle Gories. Yeah, they do, I think, different categories for DJs, and they have to
Ah,
compete
yeah.
using those different techniques. So it might be
Okay.
scratching, mashup, tone play, something like that. And then you have to try those things
Okay.
using different records.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
Where are you doing it at, Pete? Let me think. I think Thunderbird. I think he usually does it
Okay.
at Thunderbird
I like
because
Thunderbird.
it's got like the balcony and stuff. It's
Yeah.
big enough. Like you can, I think, I don't know what the cap is there, but it's probably in the hundreds, right? Like 200-300.
I'd imagine under 300.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, 200-300 probably. So it's a, you know, it's much more viable for kind of having a bigger event like that
Yeah.
than. Wow, Bulgarian Center in
Yeah. The Bulgarian Macedonian Cultural Center.
so dope in Homestead.
Homestead. Yeah. West Homestead.
Sick.
It's right off the exit when you're coming from East Carson. It's just a little. It's next to the fire station, I think.
Dig it.
Yeah. So that's at 7 p.m. on the 18th.
18th of January.
Yeah.
Be there.
Use code Caroline for 20% off your ticket.
Let's go. Absolutely. Code Caroline. What else is coming up that I'm excited about? The polar plunge,
Oh.
raising money for Special Olympics.
Yeah. I've never done one of those.
Should do it. Do you ever swim in the Mon?
In college, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So you're not afraid?
No. Usually I was drunker then, but, you know.
I don't think there's any restrictions about what we do before we get in the water. It's
Oh, no, I don't want to drown.
Are you that bad of a swimmer?
I don't know. No. It's just,
So
I'd be one of those like horror stories they tell their children. Like mothers, like, don't have a beer before you get in the Mon or do a polar plunge. You're going to float away, like, drown.
amazing.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So now that I've mentioned it on the podcast, I have to actually do it. It was
Mhm.
the Anybody Can Do This podcast guys. They were the ones who introduced me to the idea. Neighbor Nick and Yoga Ralph.
Okay.
Shout out to those guys for interviewing me. That was pretty cool. Anything else you want to tell people about? Where can they go and find your work? Anything else you wanted to talk about?
My website is a good place, or through my Instagram. I have a link. It's carolineheckmanart.bigcartel.com. It's kind of a mouthful, but
People need art. Art is essential for life. Your kids need art. If you're a parent and your house is devoid of art, you are abusing your children.
yeah, kids need color. Kids need
So-
perspective. Kids need art. TV shows, art. Video games, art. It's
What you're saying?
literally
don't,
everywhere.
Don't give them TV shows. Don't give them video games. Give them art instead. Or you're saying that TV
it is
shows are art.
It is art.
Whoa.
Yeah. Any creative decision that's ever been made is a form of art. You decided to put on that shirt tonight. That was a creative choice.
Yeah, it was Alex Burkhead's birthday today.
Oh,
Shout out Alex
happy
Burkhead.
birthday.
This is Ancient Puzzle Arts shirt for Alex Burkhead. Happy birthday, Alex.
I like it.
January 12th.
January 12th.
He was a Pittsburgh guy. P-funked. So that's so interesting, though. I feel like I can't end there. So But there are levels, right? I mean, because like when my kid is watching TV, his brain is completely off. But when he's making art, is like completely engaged. He's completely connected. He's
Sometimes, I mean, yeah, maybe if you're not being present in the activity, like I have definitely watched TV and not been present or engaged, but if you're like genuinely engaged in every like aspect of the show aesthetically and what value it brings you.
I think the only TV shows that are actually truly art are The Sopranos, Mad Men, and The Wire.
Breaking Bad.
Nah,
Oh, I loved Breaking Bad.
I love it too, but the Jesse character for me was he just smacked of like he didn't feel real. I think maybe because I'd lived with people like that. Like I used to live in trailer parks and like run with people like him.
Yeah.
And so I would see his character and I'd be like, it's not a real fucking person. Like that is bullshit. It's not real.
Yeah.
And I hated his girlfriend, Jane. Oh, and it just didn't feel real to me.
I didn't mind her.
Really?
Yeah.
Something about it was just too much. But the
I just
concept
really
is
like Bryan
unbelievable.
Cranston.
Oh,
so
he's just fucking genius.
Malcolm
Like,
in the Middle.
and I liked Better Call Saul. To me, Better Call Saul is actually a stronger
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
yeah, it's a stronger piece because it's the same like it has all the same things that make it good, but it just doesn't have Jesse Pinkman.
They actually did a movie about him after Breaking Bad about his character.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Jesse film.
Yeah, it was weird.
See? I know things. If it was good, you would have said it was good.
Yeah. I remember. I don't really remember the basis for it, but I just remember being like, "That was weird."
Yeah.
It was a weird film.
Yeah.
But
Caroline,
it's been a pleasure.
thanks so much for coming on. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for chatting.
Let's get a picture.
Absolutely.
All right.